See, there's absolutely zero reason why you'll click on this video, you'll invest time of your day if you did not want to increase your monthly revenue with your business, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're at zero, maybe you're at $10,000 a month, whatever. You simply want to increase that. And that's why you come onto YouTube, watch these videos, click on these random people's videos, trying to find like the secret to your fucking problems and shit. And let's just break everything down into first principles. I wish someone made this freaking video for me because I genuinely struggled for months because I did not understand the concept I'm just trying to explain in this video because I freaking realized it yesterday. And I'm pretty sure that is going to be the thing which helps me like elevate and scale and grow to the next level. All of that shit. Anyways, let's break everything down into first principles. You watching this video, you probably want to increase your monthly revenue. You want more money in your bank account, which is the reason at least I do my business because I don't believe in like charity or something. Like obviously you should do it, whatever. But I don't think so you should be running a business for charitable purposes. You run a business to make money, to put money in your bank account. And because me and you, we both want money from other people, we have to convince them to give it to us because we're not a criminal. We're not gonna go over to their houses, put a gun on their fucking head and be like, yeah bro, like transfer all of your money to this. We're not thieves, we're not gonna go around stealing like people's crypto wallets, trying to find their Bitcoin, like their secret seed phrase, whatever, just so that we can transfer all of their freaking Bitcoin into our wallets. And if you don't understand what that means, just understand it's like a crypto thing. Just think like me like stealing your ATM card, pen, whatever, and transferring the money into my bank account from your account. So we're gonna do all of this shit legally. We cannot like go to people, rob them, like put a gun on the head and shit. And for that, they should be happily willing to give us money. And if we want to do it, we have to provide something known as value. Because if you study like economics in like 11th or 12th grade, I know most of you did not, but school taught me like one good thing at least, which is economics. And money is simply a store of value based on what I learned. So earlier what used to happen is, let's say there were two people, one had a kilogram of rice and the other person had like, let's say oil or something. And both of them wanted, like, let's say if I wanted to get access to oil and I had rice, I had to find a person who had oil, who was looking forward to transact and exchange his current stock of oil with rice. That was the barter system. And obviously it was not very good and very efficient because like it had to be ensured that both of the parties wanted exactly what each other was offering. Like if I had rice and I wanted oil, it should be like there has to be a situation with the person who has the oil, he should be looking for rice as well. And then like how do we actually decide the utility of rice? Like how do I decide that how much kilograms of rice is equal to like 1 liter of oil? Like it was very complicated because there was no fixed system of measuring value, everything. So that's why money was created, which was a centralized system of like denoting value. You can be like, okay, this is a 1 rupee note, this is a $10 bill, and this has the value of 10 freaking dollars. Even though it was not made of like actual shit worth $10 in value, pure value. Earlier it was like when there were like silver coins and shit. But money came around and it was denoted as a store of value. It was a way where people could come and they could be like, yeah, this is worth $10, this is worth $100, this is worth like $20, $5, $1, whatever. And money is a store of value. So obviously if we want money, which is a store of value, we have to provide value. Because money is again like a store of value. I hope this is making sense. I promise it will make sense like by the end. So yeah, breaking everything down into first principles. So we want to provide value to the marketplace because the marketplace has the money which we want, and money is the store of value, and we want more money, so we have to provide value to the marketplace. Now how exactly is value created? Value is created when pain is alleviated. Again, my mentor Charlie Morgan told me this exact same line in his course, like that's Salmon's consulting accelerator. Charlie Morgan had a course called Easy Grow, which is basically like a course which helps people with client acquisition, booking like sales calls and everything. And over there, he had this beautiful line. Value is created when pain is alleviated. Like for example, like this mark, as you can see, like I cut my arm around like more than a year ago actually. I don't even remember like when it was, like more than a year ago. I cut my arm accidentally. I was playing in the rain and I banged it against like a sharp object, and that time it was bleeding. Like there was a lot of pain, it was bleeding, blah 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 blah. Then I go to the hospital, the doctor takes a look at it, the doctor stitches it up, he ensures that the pain is gone. He gives me like a painkiller. I did not actually eat the painkiller because I was like, bro, my ego is like way too freaking fragile, and there's no freaking way I'm gonna have like a painkiller because I thought I was like the god of war or some shit. Anyways, that's a conversation, like a topic for another day. I went to the doctor. He like solved my freaking pain. Like he helped me get rid of the pain I was currently facing, and then he created value for me. And that's how doctors make money. They help people get rid of the pain in their lives, which is that they have like physical sickness or mental sickness, whatever. How do therapists make money? Like people have a lot of mental pain. They go to the therapist, they yap about their shitty lives, blah 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 blah. And then the therapist says like, yeah bro, like I helped you get rid of this mental freaking pain, you're fucking lonely, I helped you cure this loneliness and everything, and now you're supposed to pay me money. Anyways, so when pain is alleviated, when people help you get rid of pain in your life, you pay them money. For example, there was a guy called Greg Doucette. When I was like fat as fuck like 3-4 years ago, I bought his cookbook where he shared like recipes. Because when I was writing, I was like, bro, I feel fucking hungry all the time and I want to eat my favorite foods. I want to eat pizza, I want to eat ice cream, everything. And Greg Doucette was like, bro, you want to have all these different foods, you're feeling hungry. Here's a cookbook, here's a recipe book, which has like recipes to foods which I've created. And this will allow you to have food which is very satiating, meaning like you get to have a lot of quantity, like a lot of volume of food for very few calories, and it actually tastes pretty nice. You can make like ice creams, like pizzas, muffins, waffles, pancakes, everything, all of that stuff. So that's how he created value in my life. For example, there's like when I was lonely, when I had my heart broken and everything, I wanted like love from women. And at that point of time, there was a book called The Mystery Method. Like there was a very famous pickup artist in the world known as Mystery, and I don't know his exact name. I think it's something like Eric or something. And he had this book. He wrote that book. He solved my pain of not having love in my life, and that's how he created value in my life. When I wanted to make money because I did not want to go to college, whatever, via my business and all, then I had the problem that I did not know how to make money, how to get clients and everything. Then there are websites and softwares which allowed me to like make sales on the internet, help me create my landing page, connect my payment processor. There are services, for example, simple example, Stripe and Razorpay, which are payment providers. I don't know how to collect payments from someone who lives in like US or like Lithuania, Hungary, Belgium, whatever, like all the corners of the world. They're like, bro, we're gonna collect payment on your behalf, and 2% of the payment, whichever you collect, they're gonna go up to us. And I'm like, cool. Like you solve the pain, the problem of my life that I don't fucking know how to like collect payment from these people living in random corners of the world and get it transferred to my bank account. You solve this problem for me and take the money. And I think I've given you like a lot of different examples in a whole various host of niches and everything, so that you actually get the point that like when you alleviate pain, when you help people get rid of pain in their life, then you create fucking value. And if your business is at a particular revenue number and you're trying to increase it, you have to create more value. And you create more value by solving more problems. Because solving more problems helps people alleviate pain in their lives. Anyways, so one thing you need to realize, you're watching this video right now because you want to increase your monthly revenue. I watch videos on YouTube just to increase my monthly revenue. I'm not a guru. This is exactly what I fucking learned. So you want to increase your revenue. For that, you need to create more value, because again, value is created when pain is alleviated. So like another extension to this line, like value is created when pain is alleviated. Pain is alleviated when problems are solved. So you want more value because you want more money, and value is created when pain is alleviated from someone's life, and pain is alleviated when problems are solved. So it comes down to this one freaking thing, which is solving problems. And I know you've heard from so many different people, you have to go and you have to take a look into the market and figure out the problems people are facing, and then you have to fucking solve the problems and shit. I know you've heard that. Two things which I wanted to share, which I wish someone told me earlier, is you have to be good at identifying the different problems that exist. For example, simple example, Alex Hormozi had a video, I don't remember which one it was, where he was basically saying stuff like every business has a core problem which is there. For example, when he got into the supplement business, like he had this company called Prestige Labs or something. It's not a product driven business, because at the end of the day, bro, like creatine monohydrate is creatine monohydrate. Whey protein is whey protein. Like you take freaking milk, you boil it down, and you take the liquid which is known as whey and you convert it into a powder. It's like the same thing. Sure, there might be like a 2 to 5% difference in whatever, like protein content, quality, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, every supplement is the same. It's just the same. So he realized it's not a product business. Like he hired people to make the best quality supplements, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna sell it, whatever. But he soon realized it was like a marketing and sales business because he had to differentiate the product which he was selling. Then he got into the software company which he had called Allen whatever, and then he realized it that it's, I don't remember what it was, like the example he gave, but he said like it was not a marketing or sales business. He focused all of his efforts into like marketing, sales, everything. But then he soon freaking realized like software sells itself. It's not very difficult or complex to sell. And yeah, so basically, the point he was trying to convey is every business has one main core problem which you need to figure out and solve. And the business which I was in, it was like B2B appointment setting for B2B companies, obviously, like common sense, like B2B appointment setting. So obviously, I'll be serving B2B companies. And if you don't know what that means, let's say you like, let's say you run a school and you want like a software which like you've seen that student portal, right? Like where people can go, like kids can go, they can see their marks, like upcoming assignments, examinations, when events are coming up, blah blah blah. So basically like an LMS, a learning management system, where schools basically like provide like a software to their students where people can like see everything, like all that crap. Like I don't know why people even need it, but schools are just buying it because I think every other school is buying it and they feel fucking FOMO because humans are deeply insecure and shit. Anyways, not to go into the emotional and the psychological shit behind all of this stuff, but yeah, let's say you had a school and you wanted a software for that. Now I have a company which provides like LMS software, ERP software, and maybe let's say you wanted like this a random teacher who is taking like leaves like left, right, and center, whatever, and you wanted like a software which can like track the attendance of all the teachers. It can actually create like timetables as well, because it can, you can tell the like, this is the teacher which teaches this subject, these are how many classes there are, like these are the subjects which need to be taught, and using like all the data available, the computer can tell you like this period should be this in this class, blah 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 blah. Let's say you have a school and you want to have all these functionalities. Obviously you'll go to a person who provides like software access to this, and that person is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to charge you like $10,000-$15,000 to implement the software in your school, and for every single new student which comes in, I'm going to be charging like $5 a month. So if there are like 100 students, then I'm going to be charging you like $500 a month extra on top of like the normal fees, whatever which you just paid. And after that, like there's going to be like a $1,000-$2,000 like maintenance fee every single year. So let's say you were doing this for schools, you were selling this ERP software or whatever, like the solution which you have. Now obviously you need to be connecting with these schools. When the school gets the idea that they need to invest into an ERP software, whatever, they actually need to invest into it, and they start looking out for solutions. They start asking people, blah 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 blah. And my job of my company was to connect these B2B companies who were selling like softwares, like whatever services they were selling, to people who genuinely wanted the services. And I thought this is going to be like a marketing and sales business for me. So here's what Somil did. Somil went ahead and he invested each and every single atom of his existence into figuring out the latest ways of booking more appointments, of getting more customers, of booking more, like generating more leads, the latest softwares to scrape leads from, the best outreach platforms, the best outreach strategies. Somil geeked out on his own freaking software, thinking about how we can do this. Maybe he can use voicemails, maybe he can do that thing, maybe he can do this thing, that thing, blah 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 blah. And I invested and dedicated all of my time into lead generation, appointment setting. Then I hired sales reps. I'm like, bro, like obviously, like let's say someone is in the US, whatever. When it's like 2 p.m. from them, it's like 1:30 a.m. in like the night or something for me. I'm not sure like the exact time zone, but there's like a 12-13 hour difference. So I'll be sleeping. So I need to hire freaking sales reps who can take these fucking sales calls on my behalf, and I'm gonna pay them like 10-15% commission. So they're happy. I'm paying them like $300 to $600, whatever. And yeah, that's the thing I had in my mind. Like I need to fix the marketing side, then I need to fix the sales side, and these sales reps can then go out into the market and they can start closing deals, they can start making like a shitload of money, whatever, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll focus all of my efforts into this shit. And then I realized like one thing randomly yesterday is like we had a couple of meetings with some people booked, and I cancelled a couple of them, to be honest, like 2 to 3, because I'm like, bro, these people are like making like $10,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, whatever, and they can't even like afford our services and shit. And I just had like an epiphany moment. I'm like, bro, like let's say I was charging like, I don't remember, like the offer which you had, which you were selling, was like $6,000 one-time fee, and in like the next 90 days we help you sign like 12 clients, or 12 clients in 12 weeks. It was a very catchy line, whatever you want to say, and that was a headline. So then I freaking realized it. if we wanna like do everything like backwards engineer everything, if these companies have like a 20% conversion rate, then I need, in order for them to sign like 12 clients, then I need to book them like how many meetings? Like 12 5s are 60. So I need to book them like 60 sales calls, which is like less than 20 sales calls a month, which is like what, around like how much is it? Like it's like one like 2 sales calls out of every 3 days. So like 4 to 5 calls a week, which is not very difficult to do. And then I'm like, bro, instead of charging them upfront, because if I have to charge them upfront, I have to do like a phenomenal, fantastic, like fantabulous job. In like the sales process, I have to invest so much of time into marketing, sales, everything. What if instead of doing all of this, I can just charge them per appointment? Like imagine I just charge them like $100 per call. Then if I was like if I was generating them like 60 appointments, then I was making the same exact amount of money, $6,000. And then I started to think, but what if I book them like 10 appointments a day? I could be making like $1,000. And what if I did it for like 10 companies at the same time? I could be making like $10,000, which is $300,000 a month. And getting leads, converting them into appointments, and getting sales and everything, and like collecting $300,000 upfront is going to be much harder and operationally much more complex than just telling people, yeah, you have a company which is doing already great, tell me your niche, your offer, whatever, and I'm just going to book like qualified sales calls with people in your niche with you. Once the calls are booked, you only pay me $100, whatever. And I thought that's obviously a much easier sale. Shad Khan, a lot of you know him, he has like a company called Bundle Media, and that makes like what, $30,000 a month. Now he's moving on to other ventures like mentorship and software, whatever. And he's like, bro, I want to scale this company to like $100,000 a month, whatever. And yeah, that's basically what he wanted me to do, like scale it to $100,000 a month. So he came back to Bombay, he lives in Dubai, whatever, and he wanted like a CEO person who can manage the sales, operations, everything. And I'm like, bro, I can help you book like qualified sales calls on like a pay-per-call basis. So you only pay for qualified calls which actually show up and everything. And he's like, yeah, I'll be actually happy to do that. Like I don't have to take care of anything, like all the mental headache, stress, everything is gone. And I can just like get the calls in my calendar instead. And I'm like, yeah, dope, let's freaking go. I sent in like 2 to 3 text messages on WhatsApp. I'm like, bro, what's your niche? He's like, video marketing agencies, like video production companies who wanna outsource editing and everything. Like, that's my freaking niche. And I'm like, what do you wanna sell them? I'm gonna be like, yeah, these companies have to hire like video editors in their countries, which charge them like $5,000, $3,000, $4,000, $7,000 a month. They pay me like $1,000. I pay my editors like $200, $300 a month. And yeah, that's like 60, 70, 80% margins for me. Pure profit. I don't have to do anything. I editor works 24/7. I'm like, yeah, that's actually a pretty freaking easy sale. Companies are already investing money into like video editors and shit. And I can just go out to them, like outreach on his behalf and contact them and just help him book like calls with these people, and he can convert these people on the call and everything. And yeah, like that just made sense. And like, bro, it did not take anything. Like I just sent him like a random text message on WhatsApp. And then he's like, yeah, this is my niche, this is my offer. And I'm like, cool, I'll book you the meetings. And this might not seem like a lot, but I just realized at that moment of time, I'm like, bro, getting sales, if I just do this for like hundreds of people, is going to be so fucking easy. But then the problem arose. I cannot fulfill on my promise. I cannot do service delivery for hundreds of people. Because like, I need to hire people. I need to have people who can actually like fulfill on the services, whatever. And then I need to get good at managing these people. I need to figure out like a proven SOP where we can generate people results in like 24, 48 freaking hours. That's the next concern of my business. So what I'm trying to convey, if your brain still did not click, I used to think marketing and sales was the biggest problem, the biggest constraint of my business. But turns out it's actually hiring and service delivery. And I'm absolutely shit at hiring. And that's the skill I needed to learn. Because if I reach out to a company which is doing like 5 million a year, and it's like spending like $500 to like book a call via Facebook ads or whatever, and I'm like, bro, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to pay me anything upfront. I'm gonna help you book like qualified sales calls with people in your industry, and you just pay me like $100 per qualified call that shows up. So if it's a no-show, you don't pay me. If it's not qualified, if there's like a gatekeeper, whatever on the call, you don't pay me anything. I'm like, bro, that's not a very hard sale to make. Like, everyone is gonna say yes to it, provided they can like service more people, clients, whatever. And that day, I just had like a light bulb moment, because then I realized like marketing sales is not the constraint of my business. I can get like unlimited customers. I actually reached the point where I had to like think, okay, do I really want to work with this person? Like, can I really get them results and everything? Like, there was a video production agency in Miami, Florida, USA. And we had like, I think the name was 313 Films. And they used to do like B2B video production, whatever. We actually had to say no to it, because I'm like, bro, like, I don't think so I can really get you guys results. And these are like pretty successful, well-to-do companies and everything. And I'm like, bro, sales is not going to be difficult. If I made that exact offer to them, it won't be very difficult. But finding the right people who can actually fulfill and deliver on the promises which I made to them on the call, before the call, like, I don't even have to go on sales calls for this. Like, I can literally like close fucking deals in the DMs and shit. And I'm like, if I have to do this shit, like, how do you even word it? The constraint of my business, which I realized, was just hiring people who can do this shit, managing all of them, and ensuring this, like, the machine never stops working. And eventually it's going to be hiring like higher quality managers and everything as well. Because if we start doing this for like 100 companies, there's no way I can hire like 100 account managers or appointment setters, whatever. It's figuring out the best fucking prompts for our AI appointment setter. Because as I scale, I have to like use AI as well in the company. Because if I figure out a way to use AI to automatically book like appointments, qualify people, everything, then it's like totally hands off. And I'm gonna have like 90-95% margins on this shit. And the only point I wanted to take away from this video is, again, you agreed with me, right? You want more money. If you want more money, you have to provide more value. If you have to provide more value, you have to solve more problems, because like problems, like when problems are solved, pain is alleviated. And when like pain is alleviated, value is created. When value is created, people pay you money, blah, blah, blah. So you need to solve more problems. And 50% of problem solving, as Sam Owen said, is simply problem definition, like just writing it out, what the fuck is the exact problem. But then the problem which arises in most of our lives, we're unable to identify the problem correctly in the first place. We don't know what exactly is the constraint. We spend all of our time into solving a problem which is not even the problem. For example, me focusing all of my time and effort into marketing and sales, when the constraint of the business is service delivery, hiring, and like, yeah, just standardizing the procedures and the operations and everything. That's the problem, because signing like 100 companies for this offer is not very difficult. But finding the right people who can actually do this and having the right processes using AI and everything to fulfill and deliver on this like service and promise, that's going to be the constraint which I need to fix. And now I have clarity, like this is the only thing which I need to fix, and then I can reach the next level. Now life seems much less chaotic. It seems like much more straightforward. Like, okay, I need to do this, then I do this, then I do this, this, and boom, everything is sorted after that. And like that's just the main thing, like which I realize, man, like that's it. Nothing else. You need to solve problems, but just ensure, man, you're solving like the right fucking problem. And in case you're wondering what to do, I really have no clue. Like no solid practical advice or like the step-by-step guide on how you can do this, because I fucking figured it out yesterday. But one thing I can say is just use like logic and common sense. I just use logic and common sense. Like if I can really deliver like good results, like I have a proven, like if I could genuinely like help people sign like a shitload of clients, people would be dying to work with me. I won't have to sell them. I'll have to like fucking reject them. Tell them that, bro, your company is not qualified to work with us. I won't even have to do outreach, because I'll be like so fucking good, because I have like an offer which people genuinely feel stupid saying no to. So all I need to do is just figure out a way to deliver these services fast, hire the right people, and scale the company and the operations. All of these things which are, by the way, like new to me. I'm not very good at hiring. I will be. Right now, I'm not. And so now, instead of focusing all my efforts into marketing and sales, I need to figure out like service delivery, hiring people, employee management, hiring managers for the first time. That's going to be a thing after like I am working with like 100 companies, whatever. And that's the only thing which I wanted to share with you. Yeah, That's it, man. Like, hope this made sense. If it did not make sense, maybe drop it in the comments, whatever, so that I can see if I can make it make more sense, whatever. And yeah, bye. Lot of cool shit in the description. Go fucking check it out. Bye.